my name's Pam. I have 3 boys. My husband and I have been struggling for about a year now. He works a full-time job. I babysit on the side and still can't afford to go out and buy groceries. After all is said and done, we have like $20 to our name at the end of every month, and we work our butts off trying to do what we can, but it still doesn't make ends meet. So I go to the food banks. John and everybody else is really good to me. They take care of us, and I have a 10, 8, and 2-year-old. Wow. And they're all boys, so they want to eat me out of house and home all the time. And if it wasn't for the food banks, the majority of the time they would not eat. So we're thankful for all the food banks around here, and just hope that everybody understands that, you know, we're not running around looking for a handout because we work just as hard as everybody else. We just can't afford food. All of my bills, they are all put back 2 weeks until we do get paid, and my mortgage is always the #1 thing that we try to pay. Heat is very hard to pay because it fluctuates so many times. Every month it can be $150 to $350. With the jump of that, it's hard to keep the water paid too, because if you're only paying it 3 months and you turn around and get a $600 bill, what do? 3 kids, it's hard. It really is hard to keep all the lights turned off and keep the water turned off. And by the end of the month, I'm getting $300 and $400 bills that we can't afford because we don't make enough money.
And how long has your husband been at his job?
He has been there for a year now. He's drove a tow truck for 7 years, and the company closed down that he was working with, which put us in a bind. And now he's with a new company that they're pretty good, they're pretty steady. It's just still not enough money for him. So we do have the insurance ability, but we can't afford insurance. You know, we can't pay our electricity, much less pay insurance.
So your family is not able to have insurance at this point?
No, we do not.
And that's got to be stressful as a parent.
Oh yes. That right there. We've been sick for at least about a week and a half, and it's hard to find somebody that will take somebody that doesn't have insurance. So, not that I'm not trying. I am trying to get him insurance. It's just a little bit harder.
Yeah.
My 10-year-old son asked me why we go to food banks and not the grocery store, and I had to explain to him that when you don't have the money to buy groceries, that they have places, food banks, that we can go to that help us out and give us a little bit of what we need. And he wants to know why you can't just go to the store and pick what you need when you need it. So when you explain that to a 10-year-old, it's more or less, honestly, I didn't know. I tried to explain to him that we don't have the money, but he says, well, you have a credit card. Well, that's a bank card. Doesn't have money in the bank, you don't have money to go buy stuff. So I've brought them to a couple of food banks, especially to this one. They love this one because of John and his wife. But he understands now that people are out there to help. People understand where we're coming from. A lot of people that are older have been in our situation, but they didn't have nowhere to go. So we're very appreciative of everybody and anybody that, you know, donates food or anything like that. And we do. We take my kids' clothes, and we take their toys and food that we don't eat, and we donate it back to the churches. So, and that makes my children understand a little bit more on sharing and giving. And I enjoy that. I think that will help them in the long run when they get older. Maybe they'll do the same.
That's great.